The sun was hot that afternoon in a small village in Nigeria. Birds were singing, and the children of the village were playing by the river. Among them was a curious little boy named Samuel. He was only 10 years old, but everyone said he was different. His eyes always shone like he could see beyond the ordinary, and his grandmother often called him a star to his people. While the other children chased crabs and skipped stones across the river, Samuel noticed something unusual. Something shiny was floating near the edge of the water. He ran closer, and to his surprise, it was a sealed bottle. Inside the bottle was a folded paper, and as the water shifted, Samuel thought he saw the face of a man inside the glass. He picked it up, his heart beating fast. He rubbed his eyes, but the image did not disappear. The face was real. It was the face of a young man trapped inside the bottle. "Who are you?" Samuel whispered. The man's lips moved, but no sound came out. Samuel trembled, yet he felt peace, as if something holy surrounded the bottle. He ran back to the children. "Look! Look what I found," he shouted. But when they saw only a paper in the bottle, they laughed. "Samuel, you are dreaming again," one boy mocked. But Samuel held the bottle close. He knew what he saw. That night, when he showed it to his grandmother, she gasped. She told him the story of a stranger, a young government teacher who came to the village many months ago. His name was Michael. He was a youth corper, sent from the city to teach at the community secondary school. But one night, Michael disappeared. The villagers said he had been taken by the river goddess as a sacrifice. No one questioned the elders, because fear ruled the land. Now, Samuel realized the truth. Michael was alive, but trapped. The river goddess had rejected him. Why? Samuel's grandmother whispered. It is because the Holy Spirit is with him. Samuel held the bottle tightly. His life was about to change forever. The next morning, Samuel took the bottle back to the river. He knelt on the sand and prayed softly, words he had learned from Sunday school. As he prayed, the bottle began to glow. A soft voice filled the air. "Samuel, do not be afraid." It was Michael's voice. The boy shook but did not run. "Why are you in the bottle?" Michael explained. The elders of the village, led by Chief Ode, had offered him as a human sacrifice to the river goddess. They believed his blood would bring wealth and protection to the land. They tied him at the river's edge and called on the goddess. But the goddess rejected him because the Spirit of God was inside him. Instead of swallowing him, the waters locked his soul inside a bottle and spat it onto the riverbank. Samuel listened with wide eyes. "So you are not dead?" "No, Samuel," Michael said. "But I cannot be free unless the truth is revealed. You are chosen to bring this light into the darkness." Samuel's heart raced. He was only a boy. How could he stand against the chief, the elders, and the whole village? That evening, he went home and told his grandmother everything. She wept and held his hands. "Child, you were born for this," she said. "Do not fear men. The truth will protect you." But the news of Samuel carrying the bottle spread quickly. The elders heard of it. They were afraid that their secret would come out. Chief Ode sent his men to warn Samuel's family. If the boy does not return the bottle to the river, his family will pay, they threatened. But Samuel did not return it. Instead, he prayed more and held the bottle close, listening to Michael's voice each night. And with every prayer, the light inside the bottle grew stronger. The tension in the village grew. The chief was restless. The elders met secretly in the shrine and planned to silence Samuel before he exposed them. But Samuel was not alone. Everywhere he went, children followed him. They had begun to believe his story. Even some adults whispered that maybe the boy truly carried the Spirit of God. One night, the elders gathered in front of Samuel's house, chanting and demanding the bottle. But something happened. A wind blew through the village. The ground trembled, and a voice thundered, though no one could see where it came from. "Touch not my anointed, and do my prophet no harm." The villagers fell to the ground in fear. The elders fled, their shrines powerless. Samuel stood at the doorway with the glowing bottle, his small figure shining in the dark. The people began to call him their star. They believed he had been chosen to bring freedom to the land. Even the sick came to him, asking him to pray. And whenever Samuel prayed, peace filled their hearts. But Chief Kody was not done. He sent a messenger to the city to twist the story. He wanted the government to believe that Samuel and his family were practicing witchcraft. But God had a greater plan. When the government officers arrived, Samuel told them everything. He held out the bottle, and in front of everyone, Michael's voice spoke again. "These are the men who tried to sacrifice me. They are guilty." The officers were shocked. The evidence could not be denied. The next morning, police trucks stormed the village. Sirens filled the air. Chief Kody and the elders tried to escape, but they were caught. The government declared that such evil would not be tolerated. When they searched the shrine, they found ropes, charms, and other items used in sacrifices. The people were horrified. For years, they had been living in fear, obeying wicked traditions. Now the truth was clear. The elders and Chief Kody were taken away in chains. The villagers stood in silence as Samuel and the glowing bottle were brought before the officers. One officer carefully opened the bottle, and in a flash of light, Michael appeared, free at last. He fell to the ground, weeping with joy. He hugged Samuel tightly. "God used you, little one," he said. The villagers shouted with amazement. Some knelt, repenting. Others lifted their hands, praising God. Samuel's grandmother wiped her tears proudly. From that day, the village changed. The shrine was destroyed. The school reopened, and Michael returned to teach. Samuel became a symbol of hope, the boy who stood against fear and brought light to his people. And though he was young, everyone remembered him as the star of his people, the boy who found a bottle in the river and changed the destiny of a whole village. Moral lesson. This story teaches us that no matter how young, small, or ordinary we seem, God can use anyone as a vessel of truth and light. Evil traditions, fear, and wicked leaders may try to control a community, but they cannot overcome the power of truth and the Spirit of God. Samuel was only a boy, yet his courage to hold on to the truth exposed darkness and saved his people. We must learn that standing for what is right, even when we stand alone, will always bring freedom and justice. Just as the river goddess could not accept Michael because of the Holy Spirit, so also evil has no power over those who carry God's presence. Fear may silence many, but truth in the hands of the faithful will always prevail. My friend, this story is a reminder that God can use even the smallest among us to break the chains of darkness. Just like Samuel, you too are called to be a light in your family, your school, your workplace, and your community. Never be afraid to stand for the truth, because the Spirit of God inside you is greater than any evil around you. If this story touched your heart, don't just watch and leave. Share this message with others so they too can be encouraged. Drop a comment below. Do you believe God can use children and ordinary people to bring change? And if you are new here, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, so you don't miss more inspiring stories like this one. Remember, one story can touch a soul, and one soul can change the world.